China just unveiled something that has every nation on Earth desperately trying to catch up. But here's the uncomfortable truth mainstream media refuses to acknowledge. While Western governments endlessly debate regulations and obsess over privacy concerns, China has already constructed the future. We're talking AI systems making autonomous decisions, machines systematically replacing entire human workforces, and cities controlled entirely by algorithms. Maglev trains, surpassing airplane speeds. But China didn't stop with ground-based autonomous vehicles. China has also constructed trains that don't even physically contact the ground. They levitate using powerful magnetic forces. These maglev trains recently achieved 404 miles per hour in merely 7 seconds of acceleration. That's faster than most commercial airplanes during takeoff from runways. In extensive testing phases, one experimental train reached over 620 miles per hour. That's literally faster than commercial planes cruising at altitude in the sky. With trains this extraordinarily fast, you could travel from Beijing to Shanghai in just 2.5 hours instead of the current 5.5 hours required by conventional rail. Skynet surveillance, omnipresent monitoring. But it's not exclusively at airports where this surveillance technology operates. Throughout China, cameras are omnipresent, constantly watching, analyzing, and recognizing faces in real time. China has installed more than 200 million surveillance cameras nationwide. That's 4 times more than the entire United States. They call it the Skynet system, and it employs facial recognition to track every person in the country continuously. The technology is so sophisticated it can catch jaywalkers instantly, identify anyone not wearing a mask during health emergencies, and even predict crimes before they occur using behavioral pattern analysis. Police officers even wear AI-powered smart helmets that can scan crowds and instantly identify wanted criminals on the spot. Autonomous construction, human-free infrastructure. It seems like there's almost no industry remaining where China hasn't deployed AI extensively. But have you ever imagined a nation building an entire highway without a single human construction worker? China just accomplished exactly that feat. They recently built a complete road using 100 self-driving haul trucks, massive machines that can each carry 85 tons and drive completely autonomously. 0 human drivers, no breaks for rest or fatigue, even in freezing temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius. And it doesn't stop there. Chinese companies have now deployed entire robot fleets for road construction, including 10 autonomous road rollers and 2 giant automated pavers that build highways automatically using GPS and smart algorithms. They're literally building the roads that other robots will subsequently drive on. China's next ambitious goal, to have 5,000 self-driving haul trucks operating across the country by year's end. Palm payment, biometric transactions. This technology is incredibly powerful, and China is advancing at breakneck speed with AI while the rest of the world struggles desperately to keep pace. We make online payments by scanning cards or using smartphones, correct? China has already taken it one giant leap further. There you can make payments without a card or even a phone. Sounds completely impossible? They're accomplishing it with their palms. It might sound like science fiction, but it's completely operational. Millions of people in China are already paying for things just by showing their hand. Tencent's WeChat Palm Pay scans the unique lines and veins in your palm. It's more secure than fingerprints and faster than pulling out your wallet. Over 1,500 stores are already using it with an error rate of less than 1 in a million transactions. Students use it at universities, travelers use it on trains, and soon people might not need cash, cards, or even phones to pay for anything. Delivery drones, 15-minute revolution. Let me start with something that sounds completely impossible to most Western audiences. Remember when pizza delivery meant waiting 30 to 45 minutes minimum and hoping your food would still be marginally warm when it finally arrived? China said absolutely not anymore. They've created an entire integrated network of autonomous delivery drones that can bring your food in exactly 15 minutes, accurate to the precise minute. The company Meituan has already completed over 300,000 successful deliveries using these drones. That's equivalent to delivering food to every single person in a medium-sized city without a single human delivery driver involved. The drones navigate predetermined flight routes autonomously and drop packages at designated smart boxes, completely eliminating the need for waiting around for human delivery personnel. But it gets substantially crazier in rural countryside areas. JD.com has deployed heavy-duty drones capable of carrying 5 to 30 kilograms of cargo. They literally call it a pickup truck in the air, and it's systematically connecting remote villages that never had access to fast delivery services before in history. These aren't experimental prototypes showcased at tech conferences. They're operational systems handling hundreds of thousands of deliveries monthly. BYD U9 Extreme Supercar, speed and choreography. And if you think that's impressive, wait until you witness what BYD constructed next. Their U9 Extreme Supercar can accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 2.36 seconds. That's faster than you can verbally say super speed. It just shattered every speed record on Earth, reaching 496.22 kilometers per hour, making it not just the fastest Chinese car ever constructed, but the fastest production car in the entire world currently. But here's the absolutely mind-blowing part. The BYD Yangwang U9 can literally dance choreographed routines. This $236,000 supercar has something called the Daisu system that can make the car jump up to 75 millimeters in the air, hop over obstacles, and even synchronize movements to music. You can literally watch a 1,287 horsepower supercar dancing to a beat. The crazy part, this isn't just a party trick for marketing purposes. The system reacts in just 40 milliseconds and can lift each wheel by 75 millimeters at speeds up to 500 millimeters per second. It's faster than you can blink. That's more technologically advanced than any production car that has ever been built anywhere globally. It will be faster than Lamborghini, Ferrari, and even the $2 million Rimac Nevera. But here's what's genuinely terrifying for other car manufacturers worldwide. BYD just became the first automaker globally to reach 10 million new energy vehicles produced, and they're selling these dancing supercars for $236,000, while a comparable Ferrari costs over $500,000. Facial recognition airports, 12-second processing. Flying in China is like stepping directly into a science fiction future. At 62 airports, 557 security channels use facial recognition technology, so you don't need a ticket or ID card anymore. The system already knows exactly who you are just by scanning your face instantaneously. At Shanghai Hongqiao Airport, you can check in, drop your bags, pass through security, and board your flight without speaking to a single human person. The entire process takes just 12 seconds per passenger. Beijing's largest airport has over 600 biometric checkpoints, 250 automatic gates, and 80 self-service stations, all powered entirely by facial recognition. Everything happens automatically. You just walk through and the cameras handle the rest seamlessly. Self-driving revolution, 2 out of 3. Think that's impressive? Here's something that will genuinely make your jaw drop. This year alone, 15 million new cars sold in China will have robot brains capable of driving themselves autonomously. That means 2 out of every 3 new vehicles can drive without any human touching the steering wheel. But let me tell you about the GUA01. The world's first production car with a genuine AI brain. This isn't merely self-driving capability. This is a vehicle that can literally think independently and converse with you naturally. The GUA01 features an AI companion called Simo that you can talk to exactly like a friend. You can stand completely outside your car and say, "Simo, come pick me up," and it will autonomously drive itself to your location from up to 2 kilometers away without any human intervention whatsoever. Here's what's absolutely incredible about the engineering. The GUA01 is powered by dual NVIDIA Orin chips, delivering 508 trillion operations per second of AI computing power, 11 high-definition cameras, 12 ultrasonic sensors, and 5 advanced radar systems. That's more sensor coverage than military surveillance drones. It can park itself in impossibly tight spaces, change lanes smoothly, avoid obstacles dynamically, recognize traffic lights accurately, and even execute unprotected left turns in chaotic busy city traffic, all autonomously. Ultra-fast charging, 5 minutes to 400 kilometers. While the AI cars are taking transportation to the next evolutionary level, charging them traditionally takes hours, correct? Well, BYD just destroyed that limitation forever. Their revolutionary new batteries can charge so incredibly fast that just 5 minutes of charging provides you 400 kilometers of driving range. That's like driving from one major city to another with just a quick bathroom break worth of charging time. They call it the 1 megawatt charging system. That's 1,000 times more powerful than charging your smartphone. In fact, it's now genuinely faster to charge an electric car than to fill up with gasoline at traditional pumps. IM Motors L6 and BYD Z9 GT, parking revolutionized. The iMotors L6 can slide horizontally into parking spots like it's performing choreographed dance routines. Using its sophisticated four-wheel steering system and independent electric motors on each wheel, it can reduce parking space requirements by 11% and has a turning circle of just 4.99 meters. That's literally half the turning radius of normal conventional cars. Even more amazing, the BYD Z9 GT can parallel park by literally power sliding into impossibly tight spots. The car uses its electric motors to spin the rear wheels in opposite directions, while the front wheels provide the pivot point, allowing it to slip sideways into spaces that seem physically impossible for a vehicle that size. AI education, creating future minds. If you think floating trains at 620 miles per hour are mind-blowing, here's what will genuinely shock you about China's long-term strategic vision. China isn't just building futuristic technology, they're systematically building futuristic minds. While Western countries are teaching kids basic mathematics, China is transforming their children into AI experts from elementary school. Starting this year, every single kid in Beijing as young as 6 years old is required to take AI classes for at least 8 hours every school year. That's millions and millions of children learning to use AI before they even learn multiplication tables. China has selected 184 schools to test even more advanced AI programs. By the time these kids become adults, they'll be controlling technology that doesn't even exist yet. Cultural acceptance, embracing autonomy. But here's the genuinely amazing part about China's technological adoption rate. 85% of Chinese people are totally comfortable letting robots drive them around autonomously, while only 39% of Americans feel the same way about autonomous vehicles. China is literally racing into the future at full speed, while other countries remain scared to even try the technology. They're testing self-driving robo-taxis in 19 different cities with 16,000 test vehicles on 32,000 kilometers of specially designated roads. That's like driving around the entire Earth's circumference and still having designated test roads left over. BYD Yangwang U8, physics-defying vehicles. Have you ever encountered BYD's Yangwang U8? This vehicle can execute a complete tank turn, spinning 360 degrees in place like a spinning top on a single spot. The car's 4 completely independent electric motors can make each wheel rotate in opposite directions simultaneously, allowing it to spin without moving forward or backward at all. It can also execute crab walk maneuvers sideways into impossibly tight parking spaces by moving all 4 wheels in identical directions. But here's where it gets genuinely insane. The Yangwang U8 SUV can actually drive into water that's almost 5 feet deep, float like a boat, and move through water at 3 kilometers per hour by spinning its wheels as makeshift propellers. Imagine this scenario. There's a massive flood, and instead of being completely stuck and stranded, you simply drive your car directly into the floodwater and boat your way to safety. It can stay floating for 30 complete minutes. This isn't some futuristic concept vehicle shown at auto shows. You can actually purchase this right now from BYD dealerships. Conclusion: the beginning, not the end. China isn't just building impressive technology, they're building all of it simultaneously, and they're doing it faster than anyone thought humanly possible. And this isn't the end, this is just the beginning. Every single one of these technologies is going to get better, faster, and cheaper with each iteration. But the critical question remains: when will this technology spread to other countries around the world? And more importantly, are you ready for a world where cameras know everything about everyone, where robots replace human workers across entire industries, and where AI systems make decisions that affect millions of lives? China has already answered that question with decisive action. The rest of the world is still debating endlessly, and that's exactly why China is leading this technological revolution while others scramble to catch up.